We're in.
You know
Season
what
10,
else was good?
AD2L Heroic League Dotp Executables versus PG Eclipse. And Dotp banned the best hero in the game. Respect ban. They take out the Abby right away. Smart call on their part.
Well, speaking of respect, they better be respecting this Chronosphere and Magnetized combination that's going to be coming out of Faceless Void and Earth Spirit. That's going to be a pain in the ass. That's a lot. Magnetize does a lot of damage if people can't get away from the remnants, and you can't get away from the remnants when you're trapped in Chronosphere. So they're going to have some kind of answer to the team fight from PG Eclipse, either a silencer or play like a split push with a Lycan. I know that's not popular anymore, but that's something they could look at, or pick up like an Earthshaker or something to disable people in Chrono, because right now that's a terrifying amount of damage from just 2 picks.
Yeah, and that's something, I mean, the first pick Faceless, or the first phase at least, pick for the Faceless is not all that uncommon, but I'm looking for Eclipse just to build on the team fight, kind of center at least a couple more heroes to center something around the Chronosphere here. I know
I
there's
think
a lot of tried and true combinations, but I do agree with you, the Magnetize, that's pretty devastating for sure.
I think one of their supports will have to be a support that contributes burst into Chronosphere to get those early game kills. You think about like a Priestess or a Lena, someone with just raw damage that's going to be able to help Void get that extra quarter of a health bar to the kill. So look for one of those type of supports coming out from Eclipse.
Yeah, I think the worst case scenario here so far is if they actually Chronosphere the Enchantress, because especially now with I mean, they picked both of the hero first picks are most likely going to be offlaners, so Void not going to be able to get the attack speed that he normally gets back in the day in patches past, so he's not going to have the attack speed to actually take down the Enchantress with her passive active. So Zeus very, very vulnerable, of course. So I don't know. I mean, the Vengeful Spirit's not banned out, so if they want to get a nice Chrono counter, that's still available.
That is also true.
Yeah,
well,
I mean,
we'll
there's a lot of ways to counter. When you see the first pick Faceless, I mean, yeah, you can build off of it for PG Eclipse, but at the same time, like the Omni Knight, that's a great way to help counter and mitigate the damage while within Chronosphere. So revealing your hand that early has benefits, but it also has plenty of drawbacks as well. So
I'm actually a big fan of the Omni Knight pick against that team. It also takes away a lot of what Earth Spirit can do, and just is in general a very strong pick. So we'll see what they do with this. Whether the Enchantress is jungle or offlane.
Is that the Shadow Demon? Is that more like just a denial pick for Eclipse, just to make sure that they can't have somebody disrupted while in Chronosphere?
Maybe. He also provides a good bit of damage from Soulcatcher, sure. And if you stack up Shadow Poison a little bit before the Chronosphere goes down, you can get a very nice amount of burst.
Can't forget the Purge
if you get like 3 or 4 stacks. Oh yeah, that's going to be huge, especially against Omni Knight.
Yeah, definitely a support that's kind of fallen out of favor just because he doesn't have, you know, the kind of CC that other supports offer. But I mean, I love playing him. He's a very, very valid support. But yeah, it's just he doesn't offer the sustain. There's a lot of things that he's kind of missing. But depending on their next 2 picks, I think it could be very powerful. I think, like you said, the Purge is going to be huge. Shadow Poison is a great skill overall, and Soulcatcher also a very, very good skill if you know how to use it properly.
Yeah, I'm kind of trying to figure out how the lanes are going to go. If it's going to be Earth Spirit and Shadow Demon as supports, or if it's going to be something else. And if it is Earth Spirit and Shadow Demon, how does Shadow Demon help set up Earth Spirit? You know, when you think about a Shadow Demon pick, it's all about his disruption setting up another ability. Earth Spirit doesn't need that kind of setup as much as a lot of other supports. So I'm wondering kind of where the support synergy is there. Or if they know something that I don't.
I think it's just having options, I think, because the initiation can come from multiple sources now, as opposed to just having the Chrono. The Earth Spirit can go in. Shadow Demon based on positioning could also help with that too. So it could be a number of things. I'm sure the next couple picks will help paint the picture for us. Because yeah, I'm a little curious too. I mean, I love Shadow Demon and all, but I still think there's plenty of. I mean, there's no supports banned other than Bane and technically the Abbey, but yeah. Shadow Shaman. I mean, see, they have a lot of sustain here, and now they have a good amount of push to go with it as well. So.
Yeah, it's going to be a difficult team to deal with. Zeus is going to be able to poke people down. Shadow Shaman can siege up on towers very effectively, and they're going to be able to trade very well against PG Eclipse's Harass, just because they have 2 healing characters on their team. So look for some kind of big early game strength type character out of Dotp for their hard carry, just to sort of or a gyro I guess would fit too, but just something to deter PG Eclipse from engaging on the team.
I think Gyro is actually a really good last pick for Dotp for sure. Still very, very popular. He's a great early game fighter. I mean, and either that, I mean, Juggernaut's still in the pool. You could have Healing Ward, add yet another sustain on the team. So I definitely have options here.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Sven is actually something that Dotp is considering strongly right now. He brings that sort of tankiness. He's an innate BKB builder, so he's going to be very difficult to take down early game. The AoE stun is a great deterrent, and I do know that in Dotp's hero pool, Sven is one of the characters that they like to rely on. Yeah. So
I like that
Sven could be a surprise last pick.
They could definitely use a little more. Yeah, the stun is definitely viable. They definitely could use that. I mean, you have the mini stun from the Zeus and Shadow Shaman obviously having 2 CC abilities of his own, but yeah, I think Sven would be a really good pick here. And honestly, I mean, yeah, oh my god, yeah, Sven's a good pick. He can, especially with early blink dagger, get right in the face. Get
early blink doesn't have to rush the doesn't have to rush the BKB because Omni Knight has repel.
Yep.
So yeah.
That's very good, Brian. I like that. Go on a limb. I think that's perfect. But we'll see which way they go. I'm actually surprised. I mean, I know they have both of the supports, but I mean, I think an AA would look beautiful right now.
That would be dirty if they ran like a 1-spot Omni or a 1-spot Shadow Shaman. That could be a really dirty cheese. They would have a lot of magic burst between the Shadow Shaman, the Zeus.
They already have a really,
and then
they have the sustain, but they have so many different types of damage. You have pure damage, you have magical damage, and I'm assuming there's going to be some physical coming here in the last pick too. So, how do you feel about Sniper in general though as a carry?
I don't think he is a hard carry anymore. He's kind of fallen back to a semi-carry build, what with how popular Blink Dagger has become on him. So he plays more like almost like a Venomancer in that he slows people to the point of a Gale slow with his continued headshots. So he's more like a chasing utility, a harassing utility, and then just a deterrent in team fights for people to dive too deep. On top of that, he can also do a great job of killing squishy supports that need to position. So he's the kind of guy who can take out a Shadow Shaman or take out, like a Venomancer or some other support that wants to get close enough to do some important damage. So if they do go after the Sven, it's going to be difficult for him to get blinks off just from the sniper. And once he blinks, it's going to be hard for him to move around because of headshot. So if sniper positions well, which is possible with that Blink Dagger build, Dotp could be kind of in a difficult position.
Let's not forget Shrapnel either. I noticed you didn't mention Shrapnel.
Oh yeah, Shrapnel,
very, very
great for breaking blinks. Oh, silent. All right, I'm a fan. I believe that's going to be 1-spot silencer, which is something I was excited about ever since they released the. Yeah, when they released, not the last patch, but 2 patches ago, they changed his agility scaling to be really, really good. It's like 2.9 or something crazy. So he actually attacks a lot faster than he used to, which makes him a lot more viable as a 1-spot. So we could see him go after an Orchid and just start beating people down with really, really strong Glaives of Wisdom.
Yeah, there's a lot of...
At least that's what I hope it is.
There's a lot of... I would imagine, so... And you know, obviously he scales well throughout the game, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like he's.
5 seconds.
I think it's all about the initiation here. I mean, that's if you get a Chronosphere on him. Oh my gosh, Tinker last pick.
Oh my.
Very well-rounded drafts by both teams.
Laser Rocket or March?
I don't know, but I think my Dota's crashing like so bad right now.
Mine too. So maybe it's not you. Maybe it's just lag.
Disconnected from server. There we go.
Yeah.
That happens.
Good.
Right?
Glad it's not just me.
It never happens to me though. Come on. Yeah,
It hadn't happened since I reinstalled.
I think Battle Tinker might be the way to go here because you need to be able to pressure the mid. Because I'm assuming it's gonna, unless it's, I mean, I don't know. I guess he could run the silencer safe lane, but I think he'd benefit from the levels more.
I'm actually feeling the March build. It deters the push a lot more, and looking at Dotp's team, I feel like they kind of have to win early, otherwise they're going to get run over by Chronosphere and Sniper. So I'm thinking that March is the way to go. It blocks the pushing, it lets him farm up very quickly. He can get that Blink Dagger online very fast, and until Shadow Shaman gets a Blink Dagger of his own, that Blink Dagger will make Tinker very difficult to kill.
March doesn't really impede Zeus though.
That's true.
That's I mean that's because that's one thing I'm really worried about because I mean Sniper, I mean Void to some extent, Shadow Demon definitely are very susceptible to the magic and burst damage from Dotp. So I don't know. We'll see how they do it. I mean Zeus does have the Arcana, so that helps him out obviously significantly. I'm worried about this Void though. I'm very worried about this Void.
Well, he fits in really well between Sniper and Tinker. You're gonna have a lot of damage in the team fights once everyone starts getting online.
Well, that's
but the roster is very greedy, so
yeah. Well, I'm thinking more specifically in the laning stage. Specifically.
Oh yeah, he's not gonna get shit. He's just gonna get levels, and slow levels at that. So Chrono's not gonna be online for a long time. He's not gonna have any farm. But that's not really going to bother Sniper and Tinker that much. As long as he's making space with some Chronos, he doesn't really need to get the Vlads up, doesn't really need to get the Blink up. Time Walk's still good enough to engage, and with an Augs, he'll be able to engage rapidly.
Radiant on one side.
So off lane Enchantress is the way to go. Safe lane Silencer, you got your wish. And I'm assuming here it's going to be a nice point in Glaives of Wisdom here just to get some early harass on.
Well, against a Void, you don't really need it. You can go Last Word or Arcane Curse instead. Usually you only go Glaives if you need to Orb Walk in the lane phase. But he could go Glaives for the extra burst. I just don't think it's as effective against a melee when you're already denying them. But looks like he has gone Glaives.
He disagrees.
He disagrees, and he's the one in the tournament, so I will defer to his wisdom.
He's already caught in kind of a sticky situation here. First point in Time Walk saves his hide, at least for the time being. It's just the support's just kind of flexing here, so nothing too crazy. Some early stacking going on. Earth Spirit doing his thing. Chantress grabbing a tomato creep. I have to say though, I think with the addition of Dragonlance, it makes Sniper like a whole nother level of annoying to play against. Because he can really just sit back and just start pummeling you. And there's not much you can really do, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how he builds. The Enchantress isn't using that Hellbear Smasher very well, though. The best way to do it against Sniper is to wait until you have full lanes, and then just send the Smasher in on Sniper. Force him to zone out. He can't really harass you like this, where the Sniper's way back. He can't turn and fight because the Hellbear has
just a giant tomato running down a poor little dwarven Sniper.
Exactly. That's one of the best creeps that she could pick up.
Well, Iron Jesus sometimes helps you out. There's a rolling boulder early, and she's actually kind of a predicament. She does have a point in her passive, so it's not going to be that easy. Try to stack up some shadow poison, but she's going to run out of lane. She's got level 2 though, so not horrible. Space created for Sniper is actually already hit level 3.5, so he's doing pretty damn well.
Yeah, she went in a little bit deep following that Hellbear Smasher. She should have just kind of let it go and kited around with that while farming.
I think the Orb Walking is obviously very valid, but I think the Glaives of Wisdom, especially with the Null Talisman, just makes it a little bit easier for last hitting.
That's also something to consider.
He's not using that right now, so I think he's using it for a little bit of harass and occasional last hittings. Yeah, the Null Talisman, with that, I mean, it's a lot of early damage, so makes sense.
Yeah, and it definitely makes it easier to CS and harass at the same time. You can stand right on top of the creep wave to get the fastest frame response. because your attacks don't have to travel so far, and you don't have to worry about de-aggroing after every time you attempt to harass, because you can just orb walk to break the aggro.
A little bit of aggression here. We got the rotation. Both supports come in to put on a lot of pressure on the Zeus, but he's going to be okay. The rolling boulder actually doesn't connect, so Zeus actually doing pretty okay. He's doing okay. Tinker's obviously winning the CS battle here, but both bottles are online, and Tinker not quite sure which way to go, so point and march and a couple in laser and rocket, so versatility, come what may, so opportunity seizes itself, maybe might save some points to be able to take a kill if need be.
Yeah, we'll see where he goes from here. This is a very open-ended start.
Actually, Enchantress exchanging a lot of right clicks. She has no regen, only 1 point in her heals, so be a little more cautious here. Support's just roaming all around for DT or for EXE here.
PG Eclipse.
Actually, yeah, no, for Dotp. Actually, they're both smoked right now, so I think they're gonna wait and see if Tinker goes for the ruin, but he seems okay just to keep the farm up. He's got two charges and they have the bottom rune, Arcane rune actually, League of Legends rune, ready at his disposal.
Yeah, I was looking at PG's draft, and I wasn't as concerned about the last pick Tinker. Usually I would be from the Zeus, but he has pretty much exclusive bottle control here. The Sniper doesn't need it, the Void doesn't need it. So Tinker having to bottle crow in this lane, which is kind of what I expected, because Zeus is usually really strong against Tinker. He hasn't really needed it yet, though. But having to bottle crow isn't
boulder. A lot of aggression. He doesn't have his boots online yet, so he got the 3 points into the rocket, but Omni Knight TP's in right away to make sure he stays alive. They wouldn't have got that kill either way, but just to be safe, the Omni Knight comes in.
Yeah, a little bit early to be diving deep, so I think he was fine, but you know, better safe than
Sniper.
sorry.
One more hit, he's dead. That's a solo kill there for the Enchantress here. And he finished up the treads, yeah, so she's almost level 6, so once that impetus comes online, Shadow Demon is going to be in a world of pain. I think he overextended a little bit. He was in the shop, and I think he was buying his phase boots actually, and Enchantress was able to take advantage of that.
Yeah, the one saving grace about impetus for all the supports there is that the mana cost is super high.
Oh yeah,
and
early levels.
Is not going to have a lot of mana regen.
Yeah, which is why I think the stat build for Enchantress is so popular. I mean, her mana pool isn't terrible, but yeah, and the cost for impetus is just unreal. So you get the int treads, you get drums online early, and you pick and choose your battles there.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how well she tread switches to cast extra impetus. Right, when you play anti-mage, you tread switch to get free blinks. So if you tread switch on Enchantress, you can get very, very cost-effective impetus casts. So if she's really on point with that, that would be awesome to see.
He has time walk up, but
Sniper's in trouble too. He's behind enemy lines and does not have a lot of hit points.
Uh-oh. Void actually is dead. One more, yep, Arc Lightning will finish him off here. Sniper looks like they'll make it out. Ultimate there comes out and they'll take down the Enchantress, so nice revenge kill there. Actually, Omni Knight's also trapped too.
Oh, and the Omni.
And no heal online, so that's a double kill going to the Sniper, so Tinker makes his first rotation. It results in pretty big success. And unfortunately, Zeus was not able to pop the ultimate there because no one was too low, so just be kind of squandered. But he does pick up a kill for himself. He takes out the Void, who in an awkward time walk actually traps himself in the trees here. So
yeah, that's one thing about Dotp's lineup where I'm not quite as concerned about the late game Tinker as I normally would be. They have three things that work against it very well. The
silencer. He gets kicked back. They pop the ult. Zeus trying to do as much damage as he can, but he's all out. He has one more Arc Lightning here, but no one's gonna go down. Tinker getting very low. He's gonna make it out. Enchantress actually running down the Sniper here. Just doing so much damage early on.
Yeah, that's one of the things about the support duo they picked. They don't have a lot of control of that lane. Not a lot of burst coming out there, not a lot of chain CC. So it's really on the sniper to sort of win that lane, and that's really difficult to do against Enchantress.
Yeah, the double kill definitely helps, but yeah, you're completely right. I mean, burst damage is the key with Chanty now, especially with her farm priority being upgraded in this last patch. So, I mean, I've still seen the support Enchantress, but it's just it takes so much longer to get online here.
Yeah, jungling works okay. It can still be very effective. You can still get a lot of ganks in, and I'm still a huge fan of buying Urn on her. I just think that it gives you so much early game to be able to chase things down with Impetus and with Urn.
Wow, RNGesus definitely got a few prayers, but actually he's actually kind of caught here. Omni's not going to be able to get to him in time, but he still has to be wary. His teammate's moving in here. Enchantress, he's hit.
Oh, they're
They
going
have the
in.
assassinate on it. First
Oh, good
Chrono's
Chrono.
used. Oh my gosh. So awkward. So awkward.
Those
Attack
shadow
speed.
poisons were not.
No, Assassinate will finally go off, but she's Omni Knight backing her up too. Zeus throwing out everything he can. He's out of mana. Here comes the first global silence. Enchantress is going to wail on this poor Earth Spirit. Omni keeping her upright throughout the fight. And I think Tinker's in trouble too. One more impetus.
Well, he does have a blind.
Oh my gosh!
Oh,
the
dodges.
Satyr creep. Disruption.
Dodges the Haddock.
Oh my gosh. Zeus off this pop, but Sniper's still alive here. Enchantress gonna run him down. She's got the move speed, but the phase boot's actually coming just in time. A great
good
body
blocking.
block. Yep. Great body block. She's still going for it though. Perhaps in vain, and yeah, now she's kind of stuck. I don't think they really have anything to re-goose this though, so.
No, I think she'll be fine.
Actually, Assassinate's back online here, and Shadow Poison getting some stacks. Rolling
Oh,
Boulder
the
comes
Earth
in.
Spirit.
Yeah, she's dead. Oh my gosh. Maxed out passive right now, Untouchable, just doing so much work. Activates the heal, and they're not going to be able to break her down. Oh my gosh, Omni comes back in. Unbelievable.
Wow.
Pick Burst. Yeah, that's going to be really hard to walk away from. While that happened, though, T1 top actually taken down. Dotp able to take that tower, push the lane now that Void's made his rotation.
And among all this, Silencer has had a lot of space to farm. He's leading the CS chart
Oh yeah.
at 54.
Yeah, he's far and away the net worth leader. And actually, all the cores for Dotp are on top of the net worth chart. So, great start. Very key rotation. This Omni Knight pick just doing work right now. Tinker's still quite a ways away from BOTs, so.
And the Omni Knight's been really on point. He's always been in the right place at the right time, which is, you know, really impressive to watch.
Yeah, you can credit the Shadow Shaman for helping him out with the support items, so he's able to get the boots early. Because obviously he's not going to get the farm, so it's going to take a while for that passive gold to get him boot money. But I actually thought this might be a Midas for the Silencer, but I think with just the start that they've had, they're not really worried about. So he's going stats as well. So
Yeah, I think stats are the right way to go.
there we go. There's your
They're,
first Zeus kill. That ultimate. Good skill. Yeah, he's maxed out Lightning Bolt too, so he's doing a lot of damage. Tinker just can't compete. He's just so very vulnerable this in the laning phase. So delayed the POTs a little bit more, so PG Eclipse already in a sizable hole to start this off.
Yeah, this is kind of why I said I wanted to see the Tinker go for a March build, because his farm is not going to be very reliable against the Zeus. So if he had some stacks here, he'd been able
More
to...
hit. The great little tree dodge here by the,
great
the sniper.
vision.
Global Silence come out, but maybe a little too late. Zeus is here now, and he's ready to fight. Here comes the Chrono, and that's just a defensive one. Void just wants to get the hell out of there. Throw the ultimate and actually have a good amount of damage on it, but he still has Veil that he can pop if they want to turn this around here. Uses up all the bottle charge to get himself back to good, but have to disengage again. Another Chrono really not coming of anything, sadly. So.
Well, they're not getting kills with these, but with that one at least, they avoided losing money.
Yeah.
Which can sometimes be just as important.
Yeah, but at this point in the game, I think I don't think they can really do much. I think that's probably best case scenario. Oh my gosh, Veil of Discord. Just
Oh,
Earth Spirit just stands no chance.
yeah. When I look at the way the game's going, I just keep coming back to the support duo that PG Eclipse picked, and I like both of those characters sort of on their own, but I really don't like
Together.
them
Yeah.
together.
Dragonlance finished on Enchantress.
Ooh, that's an aggressive smoke.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. They know they have the advantage, and they're making so much space here. And if they can they won't be able to kill the Void, I don't think. He's got 4 points in Time Walk, so he'll probably be okay. So I don't find anybody in the jungle, so I'll just farm a stack.
Farm a stack, take a tower. Well, they are a bit of an early game team. I think that PG Eclipse outscales them pretty hard if the game goes really late. But the way that the game is going, I'm not sure that they're going to be able to get to that late game. I think that Dotp is actually going to do a great job of kind of squeezing the map on them, and so we'll see what kind of farm this Tinker can manage under pressure.
Yeah, I mean, he's still about 1,000 away from BOTs, and depending on how this next engagement goes, it might be even longer here. Omni Knight doing his best to keep the Enchantress alive. She's still silenced up, so she's not going to be able to... Okay. Oh, Assassinate just barely missing.
Oh, and he didn't get her with a rocket.
Nope. There's so much to stay new. This Omni Knight's just babysitting this Enchantress the whole time. There's your third chrono of the game. It's on Zeus this time. They're gonna get a kill. Hopefully, there we go. Zeus finally goes down. Killing spree goes to the Earth Spirit, so he's gonna get some much needed gold here. Upgrade those boots, boss. You've done well. Yeah, that's the kill that you have to go to. They keep getting Enchantress in the Chronosphere, which is crucial, but they can't go on her. At least not yet.
Right.
There's no way that they can actually.
No, they need to go after the Silencer, the Zeus, and the Shadow.
Actually, that's a
Shaman.
kill.
Those
That's a
are the
dead
three targets
Enchantress.
that
They
are
have Vision
killable.
on her. Rocket and Assassinate actually is able to wipe her out, just going for that last bit of CS, and ends up leading to her own demise. So now if Tinker gets this tower here, he's going to be a lot closer to the BOTs. He's actually put 3 points in the March per your suggestion to help his farm rate, which he so desperately needs. And they're actually going to have to
Well, once the
disengage
boots of
from
travel come online, it'll be fast. Because again, you said it earlier, he kind of went a middle of the road build with a lot of points in Rocket and a few points in March. So he hasn't commit fully to the ganking build that we've seen, previously the last time we saw a Tinker. But he also hasn't gone full out on the March laser build, which is sort of the defensive farm-oriented build order for Tinker. So he's going to be a little bit slower on his items than he would be if he had gone for a really fast farm rush, but he's also been able to teleport around and contribute a lot more to fights because he has those points in Rocket.
Chancer's wrapping around. I don't know if they actually want to go in on this, and PG is actually very aware of the situation. Yeah, they know there's a ward there. And they cut out a couple casts of March here, but Assassinate just on Zeus, just kind of preliminary here. Meanwhile, Void's finally getting the space he needs here. Picks up level 9, so he's actually he's on par with the sniper here. So it's by being bullied out of lane and getting killed a couple times early on. He's gonna come back. And there's the first cast of the wards, and maybe oh my gosh! Before Chrono come out, he actually did. That's perfect. That's what I was afraid of here. He actually had to pop his wand to have mana for Chrono after the global silence. So perfect initiation. Actually, it's a double kill here for the silencers. They take out the Shadow Demon as well, who's just become food at this point. He's just so damn squishy with the burst here from Dotp.
They're actually forwarding farm on him. He's going for an Ox Rush.
I mean, you saw how powerful that global silence is when timed perfectly. I mean, that their entire initiation right now is the Chronosphere, and like right after that time walk, that could not have been more perfect. He was in a poor position.
Yeah,
and they
that
took
was
advantage of
perfectly timed silence.
Yeah, he's actually skipping Arcane Curse completely and maxing out everything else. So he's full carry mode, and he's actually gonna go for your Rod of Aoi, your favorite item.
Well, after seeing that do so much work on a silencer before, I think that it's a great decision. I think I would have gone after the Orchid just because he's not really feeling the same amount of pressure as I would expect him to be feeling. But that could also just be him wanting to be incredibly safe and just not die at any point, and just continue to amass farm without having to worry about getting ganked out of the chrono.
Yeah, yeah, the stats, the HP, but I mean also the int gain as well. I mean he's unfortunately only has 4 int stolen for his sake, but yeah, it's definitely a very viable item on him, and they already have so much chase potential. I feel. Actually, not too much. I mean, the Enchantress definitely by herself, but I guess that's pretty much it. I mean, until the Blink Dagger comes on the Shadow Shaman, which isn't gonna happen anytime soon. So. How do you feel about this sniper build-up, by the way?
The S and Y has been really popular, so it's going to be like an S and Y Maelstrom build, which makes sense because he's not going to be sort of a utility core. He's going to be the primary right clicker, since Tinker's not going to be right clicking and Void's not going to be the primary hard carry. So going after the high attack speed build, trying to play off of procs makes a lot of sense, especially if you get good Chronosphere setups. It's going to be one of the more optimized damage builds. And then on top of that, going for the Sanj first just gives him some utility, some survival.
Yeah, he needs
and
that
I think
versus
that
Zeus,
they need that.
Sure, I definitely agree. Scepter in the works here for Enchantress. Got the point booster. And look, you even got your urn.
I think it's an amazing item on her. It gives her just tremendously more utility than you would expect out of it.
Urn's a fantastic item to begin with. It looks like we're going to try to get a Chronosphere on here, and it's on the Shadow Shaman, and they'll actually pick up the kill. Zeus actually caught in that, so he wasn't able to participate, and there comes this Earth Spirit on him. It's just so much to stay. The Enchantress actually separated from the entire pack here, and she's going to be okay, because Earth Spirit's not going to be able to take her down by himself, so they'll settle for the 1 kill.
Yeah, it kind of hurts
Enchantress
to
is
see
still
Chrono
here,
go
and
down
actually,
like that.
she's doing so much damage.
Yeah,
there's the global.
no
Oh,
fear.
and there's the ult to finish the deal. And actually, one more. Rolling boulder. Not quite fast enough, but it wouldn't disjoin it anyway. So 2 kills here, and they lose the Shadow Shaman, but he's already revived. I mean, he's got the wards up. He's TP'd in, and they can take this T2 mid here if they'd like.
Yeah, this is the sort of the situation where the March build makes a lot of sense here for the Tinker, because they're going to be pushing up on these towers, and Tinker is really their only wave clear until Sniper has that Maelstrom. So
yeah.
Going Laser Rocket.
Little greedy here, going for Lasted on the tower, and she's actually going to go down, and they'll get the deny on it as well. Isn't that what your buddy said? People are always greedy and they always go for the Lasted on the tower?
Yes. Mike
Time Dilation
that,
comes out, but just after the heal comes out for the Omni Knight. Zeus is back in the fold here, and with the Veil popped, they're going to try to surround him here, but yeah, he's definitely going to pick up the kill in the Earth Spirit. Omni Knight with the heal up. Shadow Poison actually doing so much damage. You got 3 stacks on him, and Zeus will go down. Damage has been done, though.
Yeah, losing that 2-2, even though it was denied and the Enchantress died for it, having that kind of map control is so much more important than the amount of gold that was exchanged. If you look at the gold lead, it's still solidly 4K in Dotp's favor. So losing that tower, yeah, it hurts, but whatever. It's more about the map space. It's more about constraining the Tinker's area where he can farm safely, because right now they have no tier 2s protecting their jungle, so that's not a comfortable space for Tinker to be moving out into.
Especially this
for
early
him
in
to
the
be
game,
farming
too.
the stacks. Yeah, 22 minutes in now. A lot of push coming out of Dotp.exe, and I know we mentioned that, but we've seen a lot of push teams kind of not gain traction. This is a push team that has definitely found their momentum. They're definitely
well, and they have there's
on
more
pace.
caveats to lineup than just early push too. And actually, the Shadow Shaman, knowing that this game could potentially go later, actually goes for the Midas just to make sure that he'll get that blink, he'll get that scepter, and maybe a refresher if this goes long enough. So, Sniper actually changed his build for the 3rd time. We had the starting of Maelstrom, the start of S and Y, and now we have a Shadow Amulet. So maybe a Silver Edge at some point here. A lot of casual items.
Could be a Silver Edge.
A lot of casual items.
It could be definitely be a Silver Edge Maelstrom to knock off the Untouchable.
Yep.
Nifty. Huh.
Yeah, that's actually really huge.
Think of it that way.
That. Yeah, that's. And if he gets the Dragonlance too, he'll be able to pick her off from anywhere in the fight. So. Oh my gosh, how does he have a Scepter already? I didn't even see this.
He hasn't bought any support items.
It gives you 3 charges.
I don't know if it's going to be worth it, but we'll see.
I mean, I know they're worried about the Omni Knight, but I mean, I don't know. A Force Staff would have been great. Yeah, there's a lot of other items that he could have went for. Glimmer Cape just to help with the Zeus damage and help someone escape.
Or even letting the Earth Spirit get some farm and Shadow Demon buy most of the wards. That could have looked very different as well.
I don't know if Dotp really want to push this high ground already. I don't know if they're just kind of posturing and see what kind of damage they can get done. Zeus ult is up, so okay, they're gonna pop it. Screw it, they say.
Good chrono.
Great chrono, but the global comes out. There's no follow-up, and Zeus will just get destroyed here. Zeus ult comes out, Omni Knight global comes out, and we're good. The push continues. Chrono down, Sniper incredibly weak, has to go back to the well. And Zeus is just doing so much work. He's actually out of mana now, but I think they're just going to take this T3. March actually doing a lot of damage here to Dotp.
That fight...
oh, the rocket actual finish off Enchantress, so... They actually will not get the T3 either. So...
Yeah, but they got 1,000 damage on it. It's going to go down the next time they move up high ground of wards. The issue with that engage was that Sniper, again, right on point with those global silences, and Void went in without the Sniper in the area. So Silencer blocks all the magic damage, and Sniper, who is basically all their physical damage at this point, was just taking a trip back from the well. So unfortunate timing there for PG Eclipse. That fight could have gone very differently had the right click from Sniper been there.
Yeah, that's a huge thing too, is that the positioning of the Silencer to make sure that no matter what, he's not in the chrono, so that even if his teammates do get caught in it, and especially if Omni Knight gets caught in it, because that actually presents some problems as well, but to make sure that even if it is cast, he can follow it up with the global to make sure that there is no additional casualties. So Scepter is the way the Zeus decides to go here. Just going max damage. I think after the Aether Lens, it's... I mean, you already have a lot of value in both the Aether Lens and the Veil. I don't mind the Scepter. I think Octarine Core is better overall. But... I
think O-Core or BKB kind of fills out that
oh my
Veil
gosh.
of Discord build better.
What was he doing there? Shadow Demon all the way across the map trying to 1v1 a Silencer. That's not going to go in your favor, sir. +8 on the Silencer, and actually they're looking to push here. Get everyone grouped up. Global's back up. Guardian Angel will be back up in 15. Wow, they're really getting aggressive here. I definitely feel like they could sit out and farm, but at the same time they don't really need to, because their ultimates have decent cooldowns, but not really all that long. And Enchantress
they really don't want to sit out and farm. The longer they wait, the bigger Tinker gets. He already has his Dagon 1 online, so it's not that long before he has the Dagon 3, and the Enchantress is just food. So they want to get critical damage in before the Tinker gets too big.
Yeah, they're already focusing her down in the fights, which, I mean, frees up the Silencer, which is fantastic, but...
Yeah, he's not as big as she is right
the
now.
Guardian Angel already, when only magic
Guardian
damage
Angel
is coming out.
Wards on.
There's your Chronosphere.
There's the Chrono.
Boy, kind of hesitating, and they're going to just blow up the Enchantress. Oh my gosh, triple kills going on now. Everyone's so weak on PG Eclipse. Silence comes out, and Silencer actually getting 2 kills. They're actually making a nice trade out of here, but Zeus is way too deep. He's going to go down here. Taro finish him off, so wow. that was a dream initiation here for PG Eclipse.
Yeah, that's how the last fight could have looked as well had Sniper been engaged in it the entire time. And this time we saw the sniper right in there getting right clicks off. As soon as the Chronosphere went down, they took out the Enchantress while they blocked off the rest of the team. So they're definitely still in it, despite how much the momentum feels to be in Dotp's favor. PG has the late game, they have the scaling, and they also have the initiation that if everything goes right, they can easily take these team fights.
I don't know, man. The graphs beg to differ. Numbers don't lie. That the lead that we saw before, I mean, now experience is actually heavily in the favor of PG Eclipse, and gold is pretty much negligible now. That net worth lead is no longer there.
Yeah, Tinker is definitely making the most of the space. He's almost caught up with the Silencer in terms of the net worth chart. He'll pass him up in just a few minutes because his farming is incredibly fast.
Yeah, and that's not really something they can do too much about. They don't have many ways to catch him out, unfortunately. So he's just Tinker's gonna do Tinker things for the time being.
Yeah, until Shadow Shaman finishes. He did opt for the Midas before the Blink, so he delayed his Blink Dagger a little bit, and he hasn't been able to find the space to catch up on that farm. So the late Blink Dagger is really going to start hurting them. He's really their way of picking off the Tinker.
Oh. And while all this is going on, yeah, not only there's the Tinker farming, but the snipers as well. For that last fight, he had the Silver Edge ready to go. I think they're going to try to get the Tinker down, but he's going to be okay. He just has to get one rearm off. They ult actually to get the vision, and he's dead. There we go. As soon as we say they can't pick him off, they do exactly that. And that actually helps Zeus finish up his scepter here, so. It won't be easy for PG Eclipse to break high ground, though. I mean, without pickoffs in a 1v1 or in a 5v5.
Yeah, really all they have is Sniper for breaking high ground, so they really have to rely on him being slow and steady damage. And as the game goes on, that's going to be harder and harder to do, just because as soon as the Shadow Shaman has a Blink Dagger, they can global Shadow Shaman blinks in right on the Sniper. That takes away most of the damage there.
Yeah, but the Sniper right clicks really, with the build that he went, he really doesn't have anything, and especially after the Maelstrom, he'll have the attack speed for sure, and obviously it'll help, but he's using Assassinate on it. He's Assassinate on a Centaur creep. But yeah, I mean, Silencer is hitting for much harder than the Sniper is, so I mean, if as far as reliable damage is, it's not great.
He'll start hitting a lot harder. Sniper is one of those characters that starts off a lot weaker than you expect him to and catches up really quickly. He definitely kind of has a turning point where he goes from not dealing critical amounts of damage to being an unholy force of wrecking. So if he can get to that point, which is like an item and a half away, then towers are going to be less of a threat. But at the same time, you know, the Shadow Shaman is nearly at that Blink Dagger, so
Dotp is also getting a lot of big items online as well, so we'll see how it pans out. They're really pressuring this tower, but I don't know if they really want to fight it quite yet. And actually, there's no Chrono. Oh, actually, you know, Void TP's back, so yeah, they're gonna disengage here. Enchantress breaks apart. Is this a sheep stick right away here for the Silencer?
That is an excellent question. I would think so. I don't think you go Okor on Silencer.
No, I was thinking more along.
You certainly don't go Shivas.
Yeah, I was thinking Shivas would be the only real. Yeah, I think the Hex is good, but he's so far back in these fights. I mean maybe get Global off and Hex the Void, perhaps, after the Chrono?
Possible?
Because he's so far back, it's not like he's not going to be able to get to the... I mean, ideally, you'd probably want to get the Tinker or the Sniper, but they're so far back, there's not a chance in hell he's going to be able to do that.
I think he gives him a defensive option against if the Void chases or if the Earth Spirit gets really deep in, he can block out Magnetize for a little while. But it's also just generically a great stat item for him.
Yeah,
he wants to be building a lot of agility and a lot of int, and it gives both of those things. Then on top of that, as the game goes later, having that Hex to take the Tinker out, as you said, will become more and more critical as the Tinker becomes...
and they're going to find themselves a nice little kill early on. Self-disruption just to kind of buy time, and actually with the Shrapnel coming out, oh, Zeus, yeah, that skill's still there. With the Scepter upgrade, he's just doing so much damage here.
Ooh,
And
Enchantress
actually,
in
wow,
trouble.
so far deep, they popped the global here, which extends our time on Earth a little bit longer. Actually, with the heal coming out from Omni, I think she'll be okay. Wow.
Yeah, between the Omni heal and the Nature's Attendance and the Urn, she's going to be back up at full health in no time.
Yeah, so they can
They're going to
regoose here.
take this mid tower and this mid racks.
They have level 2 wards up now as well, so they'll definitely be able to take this the tower. The glyph is popped. You have buybacks on the Shadow Demon. Earth Spirit can as well if you'd like to. Oh my gosh. Great CC on the Void here. There's self-disruption here just to buy a little more time. He's just going to have to get out. Tinker doing all he can at this point, but Ward's actually focusing on the illusions. They're not focusing on the barracks, so they're not getting all the damage they could be. Now it goes. Now it's focusing on the range racks, but it's already time to get the hell out of here.
Nature attend us.
Well, good hold there from PG. They ended up not losing anyone.
I think this kind of shows like what kind of timeline Dotp is on right now.
Yes. Usually when you look at an early game team, you say that if they don't have racks by 35 minutes, they're in big trouble. Yeah. And the way they've drafted, they've bought themselves a little bit of extra time, but it's really not going to go beyond 40, 45 minutes before PG Eclipse's team is going to really start to outshine them. So they need to start looking at picking up a Roshan or something to extend their ability to take these racks. Getting the tower down is a big step.
That was my point earlier.
I
mean, I felt like they rushed the first couple pushes. I mean, you could wait, you know, because the Zeus Eggs wasn't even online. They could have got a Roshan, and now Enchantress caught in a little bit of a pickle here. She's gonna get blown up there. Tinker finishing her off with the Dagon, which is level 2 still. He actually, that's a Perseverance in his inventory.
Wow, that Silver Edge is really paying for itself against this Enchantress.
Oh, no kidding. I mean, not even like the initial damage, but yeah, obviously breaking the break effect.
Breaking the passive.
Huge. Yeah, to break the passive is huge. And looks like they're gonna walk right into the Roche. No vision.
Yeah, unfortunate timing there from the Shadow Shaman. He had just been in there waiting for PG to start it, and basically as soon as he blinks out, once he gets to the tier 2 there going back home, they go into the pit. So yeah, very narrow miss there.
No vision on the Roshan, but with nobody showing on the map at all, they're pretty sure that there's a Roshan attempting.
Yeah, they're going to be coming in, but I think it's too late. The Zeus will scout it out here with the T-Bolt. Actually, they're going to be in time.
There you go, there's Global Silence to blink in the wards. They try to trap him, but BKB is actually finished on the Void. Chrono basically just defensively here. Sniper trying to get the hell out of here. Zeus just blowing up the poor Earth Spirit. And yeah, they're going to have it in time. Unfortunately, the wards weren't in the pit, so they're not going to be able to help with Roshan, but they won't need it. Silencer's right-clicking for so much at this point. I think Eclipse, yeah, they don't want to give this up, but it's too late. Silencer grabs it.
Oh.
That is very unfortunate.
That's one of those things that will extend DOTP's effective shelf life in this game.
Yeah, they bought themselves a lot of time with that for sure. Had they picked up another kill, I think it really would have made an impact, but
yeah, I think
oh my
another
gosh,
kill
look at this attack
racks.
speed. Shadow Demon just he's just food. He's just food at this point. Looks like he's gonna be going for a pipe now too. He's almost finished with the hood. Zeus actually with the Blink Dagger here, which I was really hoping to get a positioning item sooner rather than later, and gets the Blink Dagger online.
Well, the way they've been playing the Blink Dagger makes a lot of sense. Normally I favor the Force Staff on Zeus because I like to be able to get out of places, but they're pushing the tempo, they're pushing the momentum, and they want to be jumping in, so picking up the Blink Dagger, better initiation there. He doesn't really need the intelligence for anything, so picking up that blink gives him a much longer range jump, and I think that's really what he's looking for.
Second Enchantress is going to be going the way of a BKB as well now, which is very smart decision making, seeing as the Tinker and Assassinate have been the primary sources of damage here against them.
Yeah, they've been really effective with this long range pick combination that they're running. Getting a lot of early kills and stalling out the push a lot that way. That was almost more effective than the March spam.
I think with Aegis, I think they're ready to go. They got the Sheep Stick online, and actually Zeus trying to contest the Tinker a little bit, but there's not much he can do here other than spamming a Lightning Bolt and Arc Lightning here. Still got another 30 seconds before Guardian Angel's back up, so I think they're just gonna bide their time until that's back up.
Well,
I don't know,
Tinker's
man.
going after Lincoln's. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Well, that's what that Perseverance was.
Yeah. I mean, it's good for blocking out the Shadow Shaman, and it's good for blocking out
Shadow
the
Shaman's on
Silencer's
this team,
last
bro.
word.
Oh wait, oh actually,
Not Shadow,
yeah,
Shadow Shaman.
No, you're right. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Ha, I wasn't wrong this time.
There's a lot of
but
shadows in this game.
Zeus breaks it. Yeah, there are a lot of shadows in this game. But Zeus breaks it with everything. I mean, he breaks it with Arc Lightning. He breaks it with Lightning
Stats
Bolt.
are
And
great.
the one
So
that
get
you
the
really want to
global
block.
in, and they're gonna pick off another one of the shadows. Shadow Demon. Here comes your Chronosphere. BKB used on Cookie the Void, but really to no effect. The Chrono doesn't really do a whole lot. They just have to disengage again. And Sniper's gonna TP out, fortunately for him, but yikes. Zeus ult was used, so that's and global is used, so that's some consolation. But Gangle's still online, man.
Yeah, and
Wards are up.
I don't know. Can you stop this without Chrono? That's the big question. And I don't know if the answer
I
is
think
yes.
they'll definitely lose that first rack. So they're gonna pop the Gangle a little bit prematurely here, and I gotta focus on the racks. I think they gotta go for priorities here. They need that advantage, and hopefully, yeah, they're gonna get the racks. It looks like, but they might lose one in the back end. Chanter's actually not being touched this fight for some reason. Silencer going balls deep in. He has the Aegis. He's not really worried. Not gonna be able to pick up a kill, but it looks like he will burn out the Aegis here if he's not too careful. Oh, Omni's there to save his back, so racks down 39 minutes, but is it enough, do you think, for Dotp to close this one out?
Well, it's going to be close. Every racks you take makes it a little bit harder. I mean, that's one of those obvious things, but especially for a push team, it really starts to ramp things up. Oh, and Tinker
Whoa!
is...
I did not think that was even gonna... No. Is that real? Missed time. Okay, so we've seen that a couple times.
Alright, well,
GG.
I'm glad that wasn't a GG because
they're still very
this
much
game
in
has
the...
so much more life.
Yeah.
Normally, if you look at a team with very little wave clear, you look at a Void and a Sniper and supports that can't really kill Megas or super minions at this point. You'd think, well, losing that Rax is a big deal, but Tinker can go back to the base, clear that wave, and then be back in the fight anywhere on the map. So not as inhibiting to this specific draft as it would be to another one, but still a big deal and something that gives Dotp that much more time to really close the game out. Right? It's sort of moved from a 35 to 40 minute target window to a before Tinker has an F-Blade type of game plan, and that could be quite some time. So they definitely have space and time to start looking at that second lane of racks.
I'm kind of confused now. So no Maelstrom in sight for the Sniper. He's got 3.3k gold, so he's got a lot of, I don't know, vagrancies. He's been all over the map here. He's trying to figure out, I think he's been really smart with his itemization so far. The Silver Edge, obviously, one of the huge pickups here. Dragon Lance making it even easier for him to sit back and do his damage, but I think they definitely need the wave clear here. I agree with you.
It might actually be a Scotty at this point.
Just go
could be a Scotty.
Full stat.
Yeah, just to keep the Enchantress from being able to run away and break off the Silver Edge passive, or it could be a crit. I do think that they could use that type of right-click damage.
Yeah,
just
he
raw
needs like
power.
actual real right-click. I mean, the Scotty be great, but I don't think you can specifically focus down, especially like right now with how aggressive they are. Another global used. Ward's back up, and they're just gonna blow up this poor Shadow Demon. They pop Guardian Angel, and Zeus is still ready to go here. Sniper's so low. He's actually gonna go down. Earth Spirit very low too. He'll actually survive. Buyback on the Sniper. Oh my gosh, Void just gets exploded. Actually, they get 3 counter kills, so the buyback actually very much worthwhile here for the Sniper. And they actually get the Silencer too. Aegis is gone, so they're going to get 4 kills in the back end of this, and Enchantress is in a horrible place. She's trying so hard to maybe get one more kill. Actually takes the Earth Spirit down one more time, but she will go down. That's a full team wipe, my friend. No racks, only half damage to the tower. I don't know. I don't think that was
I love
worth.
this game.
I love
this is so they're so evenly matched.
Yeah,
And
two buybacks.
just
The
watching them
Void,
trade team fights.
the Void bought back as well. I did not mention that, but yeah, huge swing. And actually, both teams come out sort of even actually with the buybacks considered. So not as big of a dent as you would imagine, and still a pretty sizable lead for Dotp. So not a killing blow by any means, but definitely kind of thwarts their plans at least for the next 5 minutes or so, at least until the next Roshan comes, which is still at least 4 minutes away. So.
Yeah, well, another thing to keep in mind is that every time you take a fight and you have to win with buybacks, you can't really keep doing that because 6-minute cooldown. So if Dotp were to throw themselves at PG Eclipse again like that, I'm not sure that Eclipse would be able to hold off again. The sniper's buyback is down. That's a big deal.
He definitely made it worthwhile, and it definitely needed to happen.
Oh yeah,
because they got 2 kills right after it happened, and Void was already he already used everything he really could, so definitely warranted. But yeah, it's definitely gonna slow everything down. He picks up an Eagle Song, doesn't have to save for buyback obviously, so.
All right,
Butterfly is the way to go. I think that it's a nice happy medium. It's defensive, but at the same time it offers a little bit more damage as well too, and you get the attack speed, so it's a little bit of everything. Best of both worlds.
Yeah, it makes him very safe against everything except Zeus, which is important because the Enchantress is really the one he's been dueling with all game.
Yeah, and actually, speaking of farm now, the Silencer with just an absorbent amount, he's got 4K he's just sitting on. Not quite sure what he's gonna get here. I don't know, I kind of want him to go damage. He's got pretty good stats, he's 2400 HP, pretty damn tanky. They're gonna pop the Zeus
want to
out.
see the Orchid.
They're gonna scout out the Void here. He's got Chrono. Pops BKB and he's just gonna TP out. He'll be good to go here. Unfortunate use, but he's already used. Yeah, it's down to 5 seconds anyway. So
down to 5 seconds. Yeah.
Nothing lost. He got that BKB actually very early. So we're seeing the wave clear issues here. Shadow Demon is doing his damnedest to push back these super groups, but not all that viable, Brian. And actually, Omni Knight's working on a 45-minute mechanism. Not the best scaling item, but the Guardian Greaves will be invaluable later on. So, especially if they're trying to sustain pushes like they have been, because they're not just like go in, go out, get the tower and leave. It's been definitely prolonged engagement. So, Guardian Greaves will be very, very huge. But 1.5 minutes until Roshan. Sniper actually getting damage here on this T3 up here.
Yeah, Tinker and Sniper have been running a little bit of split push. That's why the creeps have been
get
so
back
deep
though.
in
They
the
got
base.
wards going down, and they're just gonna blow up the Void before anything even happens here. No Chrono, nothing. BKB
no
was back
buyback,
up.
no Chrono.
No buyback, and Sniper has to TP back right now. Comes back in. Tinker doing as much damage as he can, but it's just not enough. T3 goes down, and they can just leave. Roshan will be up shortly. Just look at all the damage coming out. There comes the Radavawi to slow him down. One more right click will finish him off there. And Enchantress actually going to make it out. No buyback on 2. I think they can just finish this now.
Tinker has buyback.
Yeah, only Tinker
but
though.
I think this is going to be a GG.
Yeah, that was a huge. Oh my gosh, that's such a huge fight. Omni Knight just pulling overtime there. Mech be damned, not even needed. They can just go for the GG push. It's not going to be easy going to the Tinker though. They won't have wards or anything else of the like for this.
That's true, but this is going to be a slow death,
Magnetize doing a lot of damage actually. Silencer goes down, and Zeus will actually fall 2 to the rocket. So, and he's not done. Shadow Demon just trying so hard just to stall out. He needs Tinker to come back in there. They're gonna try to blow her up. No mana to speak of. Actually pops the Soul Ring, is able to actually finish her off with the Dagon. So.
Well, he holds, but at what cost? They've lost the second lane of racks. They've lost one of the ancient towers. The other one's pretty low, and their last remaining racks tower is not in the healthiest of shape either. So they hold for now, but how much longer? And again, we saw it right at the timing. 45
I don't know what
minutes.
that just was. Shadow Shot.
That was. Well, he's going to be up at the same time as the Enchantress.
Yeah, and this is not a pub. You can end it on your own.
But again, they at the 35 or the 38-minute mark, they took their first lane of racks, and that was kind of right in the window they needed to take it. And then at the 45-minute mark, they were able to find their second set of racks.
Look at the
And that's
graphs
right
after
before.
that last interaction.
Oh wow.
doubling the lead.
14. 14's a large number.
It is a very large number. And I don't really know what they're doing right now. I don't know if they're just kind of trolling here. They're definitely not baiting to make space for someone to take the T4. So I think they're just kind of playing with their food at this point.
It could be. It's going to be very difficult for PG Eclipse, even if Dotp keeps throwing themselves at this like this. I think it's going to be very difficult for PG Eclipse to come back from this one. They do have the tools to do it, but they have to take some very on-point team fights. The Chronos need to come down especially. And we've seen some of those clutch Chronos this game, so it definitely can happen. Cookie can do this. But we've also seen the Silencer be on point.
I want to see the battle silencer. AC comes out, so he's going to be right-clicking fast and furious. AC will help with the last bit of high ground siege as well. Sniper really hoping to finish up this butterfly before the next fight, because he's not going to have buyback, and Roshan's actually they're doing the PG Eclipse is trying to get the mid push go on, but I think Dotp will be okay with an Aegis.
Yeah, trading mid tier 2 for the Aegis, I think, is a trade that they are more than happy to take. You can put that on the Silencer. You could put that on the Enchantress. They're both valid carriers at this point in the game.
Enchantress takes it. Silencer had room for it, but I just think it's more valuable on the Enchantress, at least at this point. I mean, she only got credit for 2 kills, I think, in that last engagement, but I mean, she's just doing so much damage. Gets everyone very low, and Zeus is able to finish them off. They actually get the denial on the tower with the Aegis, so gets a little bit bleaker here for PG Eclipse. Sniper actually has the butterfly on the courier, so no buyback available. He actually it's up. The timer's done, so he would have it, but he's going in for the all-in play, which is right. I mean, you can't play defensively and go for another buyback. You need to go for the game-winning items for sure. But unfortunately, yeah, he's gonna get the TP out here. They're making the rotation on him.
He may actually be able to farm up the buyback before the next team fight if he's very efficient about it, but he picked up sentry wards because Earth Spirit didn't have $2,000 in his inventory, and Shadow Demon didn't have 1.2k. I don't know about that. Playing for that buyback would have been maybe a smarter decision.
Well, this is likely the last stand here. Everything is online for... Okay, there you go. So there's the Hex. It's going to be difficult for him to really get in position for it because he doesn't want to get too close. Especially if he gets hit by Veil, that's going to be really, really huge too. So,
well, the way I see it going down is that there will be an initial engagement, and the supports will die on both teams, and the Zeus may or may not go down. And then sort of in the cleanup chaos where Enchantress is trying to run down the team, it gives Tinker the option to turn around and fight her up close and personal and be a little bit less afraid of the impetus damage.
With a Moon Shard on deck for the Enchantress, I don't know if that's going to be a thing. You're going to be afraid of it no matter what. Tinker blows up the Shadow Shaman. He gets the wards down either way. They're not really ready to put down the Chronosphere yet. But, I mean, look at the siege here. The Dragonlance, I mean, she can hit from out of the march. Clip is out, and there you go. She breaks the passive here. There's a Chrono. And he's actually good. Oh my gosh, Guardian Angel Chrono. And Silence Global perfectly timed. And actually, they will lose the Enchantress Aegis. That will go down. Shadow Shaman's still dead for the time being. And they're still going at this. They're actually going to be able to take out the Silencer here. Magnetize doing so much damage here. And I think they're trying to run down the Omni Knight, and they actually might kill him. But Zeus just doing so much damage. The Refresher comes online. Double ult. Blows him up. And Enchantress comes back second life and is able to take out Shadow Demon once more. Some old friends exchanging some words. T3 goes down and Rax soon to follow. 2 of their best heroes still able to defend here, but it's gonna be rough. Shaman comes back in with BOTs. Zeus comes in. He's really aggressive with the Blink Dagger. He's got Magic Immunity, so he's not too worried about Tinker at the moment. So taking the right clicks to Sniper, but this is Megas and likely GG. So long.
I'm going to agree with that last comment. Fun matchup is right. This game was back and forth the entire time, and up until the very end when the second set of racks went down, or really when the Void got caught out, before the last team fight for bottom racks. This game was very much in balance. Could have gone either way. So
Yeah, just
good
a couple
to see
team
a
fights.
close game.
Especially
Yeah.
compared to our recent ones, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It's nice
We
to
had
see
some-
something different from the norm. Yeah, round 2
Yeah.
of the playoffs is always a little bit more competitive, so that's awesome. All right, game 1, my
Well,
friend.
as John. Exactly.
DOTP, take game 1. I really want this to go to 3. Those are two very, very strong teams. Actually, PG Eclipse being slightly favored in my opinion, but obviously at the same time, you can't really rule out a team that won 5 games, especially against a couple better teams in the Heroic League. So, what do you think? What could we expect for game 2? Is it gonna be another long, drawn-out one? Are we going for the all-in push again for maybe Eclipse decide to run that, or what do you think?
I think this next game is going to be a lot more ganking. I think it's going to be a lot more violent, much more similar to the games that we've seen more frequently in this tournament, where teams are going to be moving around aggressively, ganking aggressively. So watch for this game to go really fast, really furious, and it may end up going very one-sided just because of the way I'm anticipating the drafts heading out.
Well, we will see. We'll take a quick break here, and then we'll get into game 2 for everybody.